Hello Stampers! I've got a pretty little card for you today using one of the new bundles that we have in the new annual catalog from Stampin Up. And this is Heron Habitat. Isn't that beautiful? I love that we actually have a flying bird now, so that makes me happy. And this is the image that I'm going to use today along with this cattail image. Now we have a coordinating die set that's Heron dies, and you can cut out all the images, and plus it has this great grass piece here that I'm going to use. It has like a piece here that you can make clouds, and even some dies that do like labels. So we're going to be using just the grass one today, and we're putting it on the front of our card. And we're going to get going on our main panel. So we're going to put our background in first. And we're going to start with a basic white panel that's 3 by 5, and all the dimensions for this card are down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them there, along with the links to all the products that will take you directly to my online store where you can shop 24/7 with me. So we're going to start with our basic white panel and Blushing Bride. Actually, let's start with Balmy Blue. I'm going to put this in the middle of our card. I'm going to leave some room on both ends of this cardstock for Blushing Bride. These two colors make some great, nice, soft skies. And the colors that you put in your sky, generally you want to put in your water in the scene too, because water just reflects the colors of the sky. So there is our Balmy Blue in, and I just used a blending brush and did a circular motion. So we got that in, and now we're going to bring in our Blushing Bride. We're going to do it on both ends, and I go into that Balmy Blue too, so you have like an area that is kind of pinkish blue there too. There we go, and we're going to do that same thing on the bottom. I think I might bring in some more blue at the bottom. Let's do that. I don't think I want that much pink down there. So I'm going to bring my Balmy Blue back out, and it's okay to do that. Can always put more on. There we go. There, I like that better. So we just have a little bit of that pink showing at the bottom. Okay, so there that is. And now we're ready to stamp some cattails. So I'm going to start with Crumb Cake. And I'm going to stamp these all along in the bottom area, the whole image, and I'm just going to overlap them. You can have some kind of crossing each other so they're not just like little soldiers. Okay, so that is Crumb Cake. Then I'm going to bring in some soft suede, and we're going to stamp some a little lower than those with soft suede. And again, I'm going to angle some of them so they don't look so all upright. There we go. So there that is, and now we're going to bring in some basic gray, and we're going to stamp our bird on our panel. I just want him flying right over those cattails. It's a beautiful image, and I'm also going to stamp it on just a scrap of basic white. All right. because I want him to really pop against that background, I stamped him on basic white, and I'm just going to, you could either use the coordinating die to cut this out, or you can fussy cut it. I'm just going to fussy cut it real quick here, and I will be right back. I like to fussy cut just because I like my image to be cropped really close, and I don't cut the feet or anything out while I'm doing this. That's why I stamped it on the panel too, my main panel. So I'm going to continue to cut this out, and I will be right back. Okay, so I fussy cut my little bird out here, and I omitted the legs, and anything that kind of sticks out I cut off because we have that already on here. And so when you overlap these two, you can't tell where the cut bird ends and the stamped bird begins. So all the little fine details around the bird are showing on the card as well, even though we didn't spend a bunch of time cutting those out. So I'm just going to use some multi-purpose glue here and layer this right over top of the stamped bird. With that glue, you can really line it up, move it a little bit to where it lines up perfectly for you. And there is our main panel. I think it looks great. Again, it's up to you. It's a preference. If you want to die cut it and put it in the sky, it's perfectly fine. Okay, so we're going to start putting our card together here. And I have a few panels put together. I have my main card base, which is soft suede, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I fold it in half to make my quarter card. On top of that, I've cut two basic gray panels. They're the same size. They're 4 by 5.25. I put one on the outside of the card, one on the inside of the card, and then I layered a Crumb Cake card panel in here too. That's 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to add our main panel to our card front here. I'm going to offset this to the right side. And I'm putting it on so I about have the same distance that you can see of this basic gray panel in here from the right side, the top, and the bottom. And then I die cut that grassy piece from the die set out of Crumb Cake. So there it is there, and I used the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for that. And I'm going to adhere this to the bottom of this panel here. I'm going to cut just a piece off of this. I'm going to cut it so it's like straight across there, and so I just cut the very bottom of it off so it's not jagged. And I'm going to add that to our card. A little glue. I just barely put glue on these things. They stick just fine. This glue is pretty tough. I don't like a bunch of glue gushing out, so I'm not very liberal with it. Got our little grasses there. And now we need our little sentiment. So I'm going to get a piece of white. I think I'll just use scrap from where I did my bird. And a basic gray. The sentiment says enjoy your day. It's in a cute font that's in that set. I'm going to stamp it here on just a little scrap of paper. I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut it very close to the sentiment all the way around. There we go, and we have our little piece there. It just says enjoy your day. And I'm going to add some crumb cake to each side of my little piece here, just to grunge it up a bit. I'm going to leave the center of the sentiment piece white. So I just put it on both ends. And then I'm going to pop these up using mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I love the little minis. They're good for these little pieces like this. Little tiny guys here. Just going to add 3. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to place this over part of that grassy piece we put on. And there we have it. There's today's card all finished. I hope you enjoyed this project and it inspires you to get those inks out. Thanks for joining me. Bye.